Moving on, topic 2. Speaking about phones, Windows phones, Apple phones, whatever. Minimal. It's like a Kindle, but it's a phone? Startup Minimal launched a crowdfunding campaign for what they're calling the Minimal phone earlier this month. While they haven't yet hit production, they have a working prototype for a smartphone with a 3.5-inch monochrome e-ink screen and a physical keyboard. It has 4 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs of storage. The phone's OS is a custom version of Android 13, and the phone has app, Bluetooth, and 5G support. Despite that, its 15 hertz e-ink screen makes it unsuitable for watching videos or playing games. The phone includes an 8-megapixel front camera and a 16-megapixel main camera. Minimal is currently aiming for a $350 price tag. Actually quite interesting.
Hey Luke, do you want to maybe show the people the phone real quick?
Can I? Oh, you mean on my screen? I understand. I was like, wait, do I have one here?
Yeah, I can't screen share this week.
Loading
so
up. Yeah, I got it. I got it.
Duty.
We're working on it. Here we go. Here's their Kickstarter or Indiegogo page, I guess, not Kickstarter. But yeah, big keyboard, very, very BlackBerry vibes. This looks like some form of text messaging application. I'm not sure what one. And it looks like it would work fine for that. E-ink display, QWERTY keyboard, 300 PPI.
I gotta say, Luke, I think it's super cool, but I am not into the physical keyboard. I get why they're doing it. What I've found is that even on a device that has the horsepower to be responsive, typing on a non-responsive screen technology is a big problem. Because it takes so long to give you that visual confirmation, and I'm one of those weirdos who doesn't keep haptics on, so I don't get haptic feedback when I type. I rely on the little. Well, what I find is they're on most devices too laggy, so it's a habit that I fell out of when phones every month. So on some of them, the haptic laggy and so sloppy that it was just yucky. So I would turn off my haptic, and now I'm just used to it. So I kind of rely on the popping up under my fingers, and I rely on my autocomplete really responsive to type quickly.
Oh, we're like losing them. I don't think Dan's here though. But your audio is getting really bad, and I think Dan left, so I don't think there's any fixes coming for it. We can hear you, but it's cutting out like half of every word, basically.
Oh, cool.
Dan returned.
Okay, well,
with haste.
Physical key, not too great anymore.
Not too into the physical keyboard. Their Indiegogo page, by the way, is saying 4G. So I'm not sure if the notes are wrong or if something's going on here. But yeah, the essential features here says 4G LTE. I don't know. I haven't used a physical keyboard attached to a phone in so long that I don't know if I can really say. I feel like I would like it or at least be okay with it, but I wouldn't really know until I actually tried it.
I do miss my BlackBerry.
Yeah, I don't know. I do
you miss
very
it
much.
Oh,
I don't necessarily miss it.
You remember how good it was? No, I'm talking to Dan.
Oh.
Actually, no, I changed my statement. I missed the BlackBerry's swipe navigation system. That was what I miss. The keyboard I don't care about.
What are you saying, Linus?
That's
you miss it because what?
Yeah.
I was saying you missed the keyboard because it was so much better than not having a keyboard back then. It was so much better than T9 typing.
Yeah.
But I went back to it for a little bit for a short circuit video. And it's all sitting there going, it's fine as long as absolutely everything you want to type is alpha. And as a bit of an alpha myself, I'm in the Manaverse. So I can't even. Man, what can you think of a toxic Manaverse thing? Can't think of anything.
You have red pills in your vitamins every day. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, that's good. That's good. How many Manaverse creators do you follow? Influencers?
No, I don't think so.
Trucks.
Although I get them.
Trucks and guns.
It shows up in my feed. It shows up in my feed a lot because I like working out in chess. So YouTube is
no.
you like working out and you like chess? You must be into this stuff. And I'm like, get out of here. I don't want it.
You're our demo.
Yeah. Stop.
Do you have any idea, as a married late 30-something, how much promotion I get for like secret meets and like Ashley Madison and stuff? And I'm just like,
oh no!
How many times do I have to tell you? How many times I gotta tell you I'm not interested in this? Like, not everyone who's married is abstinent.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
I'm doing fine.
No,
it's a good thing. It's not unfortunate. Wow. So, I'm telling Yvonne you said that.
That's not what I meant. The minimal phone. I don't know. I don't know if I'm necessarily into the keyboard or not. Sorry, we're fighting with latency. I don't know if I'm necessarily into the keyboard or not, but I am definitely interested in the concept. I think the $350 price tag might actually be pretty good, especially once you start being able to pick these up used. But I think that there is a fairly considerable war going on for like time and mind space, and I think people are starting to recognize and understand that. And I think tools like this could be very good, because something that I've heard from, did we lose Linus, or is he just very still? I can't tell. He's very still. Okay.
No,
something that I've heard, because I've been encouraging people to turn on screen time limits on their phone. Because like I have like Instagram, for instance, my brother, my buddy Darius, and my girlfriend will send me Instagram things every once in a while, so I check their shared things on there. But I have it limited to like 5 minutes, so that if I accidentally get stuck onto the homepage and start doom scrolling, it'll just shut it down for me. But something that's ridiculous about that is when it shuts it down for me, it'll go, "You're out of time. Do you want to go to settings and give yourself more time?" Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, I know.
For me, that works. I won't go to settings. I'll leave it and I'll just close the app. A lot of people have communicated to me, the second that comes up, they're going to settings, they're increasing their time. It does nothing. So like, it would be actually nice to be able to have something that you like can't necessarily do that with. Like, maybe Instagram does work on here, but it said it's not good enough for games.
You want to put Net Nanny on your phone.
Like, that's self-inflicted. Yeah, I want to be able to. Yeah. I want to I want it to be harder to turn it off.
Like, you want 5 more minutes?
Yeah, like that.
You know what?
Oh man,
something like that alarm clock. Remember that alarm clock that you had for a little bit that would jump up and run around the room, and you had to go chase it in order to disable it?
Yeah, until I booted
something
it.
Like that, where you have to do some kind of cumbersome thing. And I think I can definitely see where that could be a problem. Like, that could be a problem if for some reason you were to set your phone app to be time limited and you needed to place an emergency call or something like that. Like, I can see from a safety standpoint where there could be a situation where this is a problem. But I also think that for certain classes of apps, I agree with you 100% that there should be hardcore mode. There should be like you said, get your heart rate above 120 for 15 minutes, and you can have your Instagram back for.
I would love that. I would prefer that over my 5-minute thing, because then if I want it, if I'm like, oh man, it would be cool too if it only bought you a little bit more time.
Okay, Luke, tell me this.
I love this.
Tell me this. Wait. Tell me this. Would you buy a product? Oh man, we are going way off topic here. Would you buy a product that was essentially a lockbox, okay? A lockbox for your peripheral plugs. So you can't just like unplug them and plug something else in, okay? And then what it is not like an interposer, like a pass-through. Essentially, it's like a pass-through dongle for your mouse, board, and game controller, okay? And it has some kind of API integration with games so that you could actually you are forced to do that thing you tell yourself you're going to do, which is every time you hit a load screen, do 10 push-ups or whatever. So it has like a webcam thing. And it's like, I am actually not going to give you back your keyboard mouse, drop down and give me 10, soldier. You know, like every time you're in a loading screen or whatever, like, would you pay for that product?
100%. That's so sick, actually. I wasn't sure where you were going with that for like a while, but I'm super into that, because my thing is, I will do it. I'll have like the willpower to do it, but I'll forget. It won't be that I'm like, oh, I just really don't want to, so I'm not going to. I'll just, you know, I'm playing a game. I'm more focused on like that I'm really annoyed that guy just killed me or whatever, and I forget this plan that I had. So I'll do it like a few times and then I'll forget. So if this thing is gonna jump in and be like, no, like you just died, or you just hit a loading screen like you said, or whatever else, like whatever event that you planned out happened, now you have to go do that thing. Sit-ups or push-ups or whatever it is. That would be awesome. That'd be so sweet.
I think everyone knows what's good for them, and everyone has willpower sometimes. So the really critical, I don't know what to call it. Is it a peripheral? Is it a system? You know, whatever it is, the really integral element is locking down your system so that you can't just plug in another set of peripherals, so that your peripherals are stuck, connected through the translation dongle, so that the removal of it is extremely inconvenient. So kind of like the app time limit, where you can where you have to like do something in order to overcome it. There needs to be like an accountability buddy, you know, someone else to enter a password for you. And it's one of those things where you could set it up. You could set it up one time while you've got the willpower, right? But it's all about not giving you an easy out. Like, obviously, if you need to just use your computer and your arms are tired at some point and you've got a book report due, right? Like, obviously, that's a different situation. And your accountability buddy, I'm sure, would be happy to unlock your system for you.
Accountability buddy.
But in every other situation, if you're just gaming... Oh, I ripped it off South Park. That's not my word.
Oh, okay, all right.
But if I'm just gaming or whatever, there should be no convenient way to keep going. And honestly, if the outcome is that you just kind of go, screw it, I don't need to game that badly anymore, I'm gonna go touch grass, you know what? That's pretty good too. I don't see a problem with that. Linus just came up with the next hot accessory for streamers. Honestly, a lot of the big streamers would be into it, and I think a lot of them super wouldn't.
Oh yeah.
Like based on the physique, I could definitely see, like, man, some of those guys are shredded. I'm sitting here going, do you do anything but sit at your computer or sit in the gym?
That sounds like a pretty great
I don't see how you have time for anything else.
Into that. That is my goal most of the time, to be completely honest.
Lifting and clicking on heads. That's the life you want, buddy. Yeah.
I'm trying to find mine.
Creatine and G Fuel. I don't need no protein shake. I subsist on salt. Oh yeah, you gotta get that Soylent. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, here we go. I found it. So like my limits right now is I have 5 minutes on Instagram. I have 5 minutes on X, and I have 10 minutes on YouTube. And my thing is like, it might not sound super long for each one of those. If you combine that, that's a significant amount of time to just be staring at my screen. Like doing nothing of value, to be completely honest. Because if I'm watching YouTube on my phone, for example, I'm not going to be watching something of significant value. I'm going to be like on the toilet watching a short or something. And then if that ends, I don't want to start doom scrolling. So like it should lock it, and then it's over, and then that's fine. And my average, since I started doing this, my average screen time per day total has been steadily going down, which is good.
I'd be interested to see them implement a per domain limit in Chrome, because I don't necessarily want to not be able to use Chrome. But
yeah,
like, for example, I don't use the Reddit app. But if I'm just like, I don't want to be on Reddit more than 10 minutes a day, I'd love to be able to set it so that that domain just won't refresh anymore.
That's really cool. I like that. I don't think that's a feature, but that's really cool. I do use the Reddit app. Right now. And I think I have mine locked down. It's just not showing because I haven't opened Reddit in a while, but I have a timer on that one too. I just try to stay away from Reddit a little bit these days. But yeah, I've anything that I'm like opening, if I notice, like, yeah, like by an incredible amount, my most used app is YouTube Music, which is fine. And then it's like Teams and Slack and stuff. Like that has been a pretty big improvement. Like this, let's see. Yeah, screen time, YouTube Music for 2.5 hours. That doesn't actually seem believable. I bet you my screen was locked, but whatever. Maybe it got bumped and it was open or something. But yeah, screen time is going down, which is good. I think it's like, it's actually wild how negative it is for you. So buying something like Minimal Phone, or if some other product comes out similar to what Linus is talking about, and using it to honestly better your life, I think is like super valuable. Just doom scrolling. It's like there's a reason why using the web back in the day used to be called surfing the web, and why using the web these days is often referred to as doom scrolling. Like it used to be a bit different than it is now. And the thing that it is now is honestly very competitive for your brain space. And I think you should do active things in order to like wrangle control of your brain back, because there's billions and billions and billions of dollars.
Right now, right?
Not necessarily, but I think you should be conscious about what you're doing.
Limit on YouTube.
Well, you could do it on your computer. A lot of it's like being on the phone. Yeah, that too. Done. Easy. A lot of it, in my opinion, is just literally specifically being on the phone, because like, I mean, the posture of it, what you end up physically doing, not very good, etc. But
yeah. I am so unhappy with like my typical like neck posture.
Oh yeah,
and it's one of those things where like I try to be aware of it a bit, but it's like, it's hard.
Try using your phone like this.
Yeah,
like no one does this. Nobody's doing this. Like you watch people walk around, no one's walking around like this. Like everyone's walking around down like this. It's bad.
Yep.
It's not good.
Okay.
There's this whole thing about
the rest of the show. Also,
I'll try.
Loving how well this lines up right now. In spite of my head being super tiny.
It is pretty good. There's this whole thing about like, it's not necessarily so much posture itself, although posture might be more aesthetic. But if you think about the simple idea of weight being supported by bone, I think is exactly how it's said. Weight being supported by bone instead of weight being supported by muscle. If you're curled like this, your muscle's trying to hold yourself together. And if you're straight up, your bone is just sitting on itself. It's way better for you. A lot better for you.